Well, hello, everybody. This is our old Kentucky home, and that whiff of smoke just came from Rebecca, one of our new, not new, old extra panel. And so we're back at the end of the year as a sort of a pre-Christmas Black Friday, because that keeps going and going and going. They even have it over here. We don't even have Thanksgiving or Black Friday. So, that's what it's all about. Anyway, this is our old Kentucky home. I'm Russ. We got Dave. We got Roy. We've got Rebecca Rumbley in the house. We've got Kathy Kearns Thomas in the corner, and in my corner anyway, and Bill Coombs, our old friend from there, all back from Bardstown, from our old Kentucky home, and we're going to chat about really whatever comes up. I had brilliant ideas, but they may or may not actually emanate in this show. So
we're used to it.
So let's just figure out what's been happening with the folks who haven't been with us for the last, several months. I think it was after the election, I think the last time we did one of these things. So Rebecca, tell us what the last year has had for you.
Oh God, I was afraid you were going to ask me that. Hey, I'm still here. Everyone else is dead and I've got all their shit.
Yeah.
I keep discovering more of it. I'm uncovering all kinds of stuff. I've got all these letters that my father wrote to my mother in the 30s, in the 40s and 50s on, wonderful paper, 1,000,000 letters. And I'm just amazed. I did not know about the incredible love story that my parents had, because he died when I was 11, and mother was heartbroken and never recovered, and didn't want to speak of him. Didn't want us to even look at his stuff. I don't know. Mother's been dead 11 years now. So I have to face the basement and the stuff. The archaeological dig. I found his old toothbrush. I found his old shaver. I found his, this I've had for a while, because, wearing his 1952 coat that he wore during the Korean War is somehow comforting. And
I was going to say, you look like you just stepped out of the set of MASH. So
it is the warmest thing I have, and it has so many pockets, and it fits me perfectly. And I am the same size he was when he was there. And not killing people, but rather helping them get away, because suddenly there are 3 million Chinese are joining the war and coming over the mountain, and we got to get out. And so what can he do? He's like, and he wrote letters about it to my mother, and I'm amazed. I'm like, oh my gosh, do I need to publish these letters? Do I need to read them all and type them all out and digitize them and everything? And then, anyhow, I read them and then I burned them, because their love story is for them and not for me to take advantage of. But it's a wonderful thing to discover my father again that I lost when I was so young. Anyway, for me, the change over each passing year, I find that what used to be a great, vast outer world that I enjoyed in my life, intersecting with other people and traveling and living abroad and working abroad. I've worked in Paris and Hong Kong and Taiwan, and all of these places I felt brave enough to go to by myself because of the Army background, and that I wasn't so afraid, and an ability to learn new languages. And it's so wonderful to be the only white person there speaking their language and getting, invited to come over for whatever weird ceremonies, ever so many weddings and other things that I got to attend. And what's fun is, here in the archaeological dig, it's not a show place, it's not House Beautiful, but there's amazing things that I find. Okay, here's something weird. In Mother's box, dusty, broken, decaying rubber bands. I found, Mother's precious things of my father that she kept. I got medals, I got, his school ring and the receipt for it when Mother bought it. And then here, a picture of my father painted on some kind of a cloth, a really unflattering picture. I'm like, what in the world? It makes it, I don't know. Where did that come from? I don't know where the story is. But anyway, my point is, I'm learning that I don't have to feel bad that I can't afford to travel here or there or go on a fabulous vacation now. I find that I can go there in my mind with lucid dreaming, imagination, writing, making art. I find myself, over the past year, I've been drawing memories. I'll have a memory, and I know anyone that could have the same memory as me has graduated to the next plane of reality. And so what's interesting is to try and make a little drawing of that. Also trying to step away a little bit from the digital overwhelm that and I say that with humility, because to see you here, I was once very close with you, Kathy, and I knew you, Roy, from two doors down, and in high school, and Russell just loved you for your beautiful hair that's apparently all gone, and David and Bill, I didn't know you well, but through the miracle of technology, we can come together like this. But I find so often that the way I use technology is that I am being used by it for my precious attention. And as likes or what, I find myself just without thinking, wanting to reach for my phone. Ooh, I posted something personal, not a share. Maybe I got a comment. It was like, what's keeping me doing that instead of, I don't know, reaching for the paintbrush or writing a letter by hand. So in this past year, as the overwhelming horror of the march of the Hitler-esque authoritarian regimes here and in other places in the world too, and where the great divide between the haves and the have-nots becomes greater and greater and greater. I find so many of the people that I see here socially, or that, and they're not that many, that can stand to be around me, but I find that I don't want to say his name anymore. I do not want to speculate on what will come. I think that the time I have wasted in speculation and online shopping and doom scrolling, and I could just doom scroll on Roy's Facebook page. Thank you for at least commenting some comment with every single one. And I'm doing the same thing. I'll spend and my phone will say, "You've spent 45 minutes here on Facebook." I'm like, yes, but my friends are here, and I can go there and see what Kathy's doing, and I can see this person or that person and feel somehow connected when I can't even bother to walk myself down the street to go to any place, the church, the farmer's market, or where have you. So I don't know. I think I think in our society, we are kind of having a bit of a no more apps, screens, etc., to pull back. I don't know. I'm not sure I made a very clear point, but anyway.
I think those hooves you hear clopping are the horse that's already bolted the barn. But anyway, I think there is a point there. We could probably discuss that for the rest of the night, but we never get to any of my fascinating questions. Thank you, Rebecca. That was fascinating. And your letters sound amazing. I have just a little bit from my father and from an uncle who I never met. And it's just having that kind of tangible thing is really, really interesting to have. But it's your thing to have. So it's a lovely way to spend the time. Kathy, tell us what's happening with you this last year. Did you hear that, Kathy? You there? Nope.
You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted. Oh, she's going for it.
Still muted.
There we go.
You, so I couldn't tell if you were talking to me or not. Hi, David.
Hey.
Did you ask me a question?
I did. It's your turn. What have you been doing this last year?
I think you know. Banging my head against a wall a lot of times. Yeah, considering whether or not I'm in too deep with the politics thing, because it's just so frustrating and demoralizing. Yeah, so I go back and forth. That is what I've done a lot this year, is considered whether or not I should keep this up, activism, whatever you want to call it, because it's very frustrating. And I feel like the lack of accountability out there it makes my heart hurt. A lot of this shit makes my heart hurt. Uh, Seeing people treated less than human, and yeah, it's hard. I've tried to up my reading game this year a little bit because I'd kind of slacked off. Because of what Rebecca said, digital overload is a thing. And I really find it hard to put it down sometimes. I jump down a rabbit hole of information and um, editorials and articles and you name it. I get really wound up in it. So, yeah, I've had to kind of consider that maybe I should not take it all so personally and maybe keep doing what I'm doing, but take some joy in very small victories, very small ones. So
Uh-oh.
Frozen again, but there could be some bigger victories coming up. I think we'll see. You've
a lot of joy to my life, and what else? Yeah, my granddaughter's in her second year of college, which kind of blows me away, and she's studying neuroscience.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, she's awesome. Um, but yeah, so I have to try to refocus sometimes on the things that are really important to me, but seeing things like democracy and goodwill and all of that stuff slip through the grate, I guess, keeps me awake at night. So that is why I've had to kind of stop and take a breath every once in a while and say, just, you can do what you can do. And I'm going to get emotional. And, you know, people can do it too.
Well,
I,
just a quick comment, Kathy.
yeah,
Sometimes a blue voice in the midst of red is more important than a blue voice in the midst of the blue.
Mm-hmm. She
and
froze
what
again.
seems like small things, actually are big in the end. So I think
no,
whatever happens, change is always a part of it. And so maybe, yeah, we'll see. I had some ideas, but I think we might shift slightly. But we'll crack on and come back to everybody as we move along. Bill, haven't talked to you personally in God about 5 years, I think. That hasn't been on email. Tell us what you've been up to.
Oh, not much of anything. Just sort of drifting along. Uh, I think it's sort of curious to listen to Rebecca talk about all the things she's finding there in the house, and I've been at it for several years, but I'm trying to get to the point where if I decide to move, it's all able to load in one truckload as in a pickup truck, and just getting rid of everything. As far as memories and stuff from my parents and years gone by, yeah, most of that's gone. Don't have any collection of things like that. Uh, been trying to lose weight. At halfway through the summer, it's sort of like I don't know how much longer I'm going to be around, but I want to be able to move around and do things, and I'm not being able to do that very well with two bad knees. So, been trying to lose weight.
Looking good. Looks like you
Yeah,
lost weight.
I'm better than I was, but yeah, I don't have a what's the word? Very active lifestyle. Rebecca's talking about just getting out and walking down. I do good to get out of the room some days, it seems like. But the people who I most likely engage in conversation are the employees at Planet Fitness because that's the ones that are around the most. So, not much else going around. Not much else going on.
Well, it's great to see you, and I'm not sure I have seen you unbearded since you were about 14 or something, I think, in school. I think none of us had beards then, but probably couldn't grow them. But ever after, I think we all did. So, although there was the mustache period, of course, that shows up online periodically. Well,
I prefer a clean shaven man. I mean, I do a considerable amount of plucking to get this hairless appearance, and I think you should too.
This is what
And
we
you look
do.
more boyish, like a young boy.
the young boy.
Old Roger.
We've already gone there.
So, but Bill, you don't have glasses on either.
No. Yeah, I've worn glasses since like third grade, and like David, I've had the cataract surgery and don't have to wear glasses for reading or for distance. It's nice.
Awesome. I would probably get something in my eye, though. I find my glasses have kept me from boiling water or squirt disinfectant and other stuff.
I think about that, but it's been okay. So, although it's been almost a year, and I wake up and I still want to go put on my glasses. That's one of the first impulses to put on glasses.
Yeah. Do we all wear glasses now?
Not those
Oh,
two.
Except for those of
Not
us who are
hey.
getting surgery.
Hey, Dave,
I wear 1,000 pairs of glasses.
Yeah. So yeah, the glasses hit. I think my glasses started. I was in a play, and I got some glasses for character, and then I realized I still was in character afterwards, but only the blind. So that's carrying
What play
the
was
method a
that?
little bit far, but
You're a method actor.
yeah, absolutely. I just want to be blind for this one. Didn't really work out. Dave, tell us what's been happening. I mean, I know what you're up to, but tell us what you've been up to the last year.
Well, like Bill, I had my eyes refocused as well. Unlike Bill, I had a retinal tear shortly after one of those and had to have that fixed. And my wife had a knee replaced in June, and tomorrow morning she's going to have that knee replaced again.
Well, best wishes for that.
She has an infection, and they're going to go take it out and put another one in. So it's not something we're looking forward to, but that and grandparenting, and it's just one thing after another. And
How
trying
many
to travel.
grandchildren do you have, David?
3, 10, 8, and 6.
Oh.
And all 3 were here last night, and you're lucky that I'm able to sit here, and they're all wonderful. They're all
Good work, Grandpa.
He's had a dose of Jack or
What do they call you? Do they call you grandfather or
No.
grandpa or opa?
Granddad.
Yeah.
And this time of year, they call my wife grandma, and this time of year they always hit the door singing, "Grandma got run over by a reindeer."
Ooh, perish
So-
the thought.
Anyway, so yeah, traveling a little bit, and then trying to just do little odds and ends.
You've been over this way, not to see me in this last year, but you've been over my end. Tell a little bit about that.
My two brothers-in-law and I went to Scotland, rented a car, and we just drove around Scotland for a week and a half. The
That
three of us had
story
a
you
great.
told. That story
Sorry?
about your brother asking to eat the fries. That was a good story.
I'm sorry, Rebecca. What?
The story you never know what my brother-in-law is going to come up with, you said. And we were at a bar and he looked at this woman and said, "Are you going to eat those fries in a foreign country?" Such chutzpah, such bravery.
Yeah, well, that's him. I'm not sure whether it's bravery or foolishness, and if Leonard were listening to this, he'd laugh too. But yeah, we were sitting in a pub in Scotland, and it's elbow to elbow, and he looks at this lady next to him. He says, "You gonna eat those fries?" Of course, we were also in line someplace in Edinburgh, and he tapped this woman on the shoulder, and she turns around and she goes, "Do you pay it forward here?" She looked at him and says, "Well, what does that mean?" He says, "Well, we have a custom in the States where you pay for the person next in line, you pay it forward." And she just looked at him like, "What?"
We have a law about that, which is called.
That's not what that means.
I think he's putting one on there, I believe. Holding it up for the U.S. though. Thank you, Dave. Roy, tell us about your year.
Well, I just didn't do much. I stick around the house a lot, and in the summer I don't want to leave Maine, and In the fall, I don't want to leave Maine. And in the winter, I don't want to leave Maine. Spring, I hope to do some traveling because spring sucks up here. But otherwise, it's nice to live here. And I've been enjoying the lake and still having my daughter living close by. And that takes up more time at 25 than you might imagine. Um, like the week before Thanksgiving, her girlfriend was coming up, so I needed to go and help her clean her house, her apartment. So, this whole fathering thing didn't seem to end at 18, like people say. What the heck?
I knew it. I knew it. I didn't want to go there.
But otherwise, I've just been, pestering people on Facebook and in person with my opinions. And
I love it. I love it. I
Not
go there.
provocative at all, Roy.
well, I'm just waiting for Trump to accuse me of treason and lock me up. So if
I
have
always
the
think
audience,
I'm
maybe.
going to wake up in the gulag one of these days.
Yeah,
Well-
we may have to make a border run to Canada or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you Mexico for you.
Yeah, I don't know, Roy. Every time my wife reads one of your posts, she looks at me and she says, "I just really love Roy." What?
Well, she made her choice. She made her bed.
Well, we want to come back at some point, but the ESTES, which is the entry for foreign national that Liz would have to fill out, requires 5 years of social media,
Oh, yeah.
all of which comprises your posts, Roy. I think.
She's not going anywhere.
I think we'd be stuck at wherever, O'Hare or Atlanta or something like that.
I've got 18 years of subversion on my Facebook. That's for sure.
There you are. So yeah, exactly. So I think it's living in interesting times, as they say. Well, it's a function of being of our age that we're all talking about various ailments and surgeries and things like that. I've dodged that bullet so far, I think, but knock on wood and whatever else is around. I haven't done much except work, trying to figure out how to retire. I mean, I know how to retire. I just don't know how to live after that. So I'm kind of trying to figure that out. I did a post on this. I'm in a band right now. It's the kind of band in which we only get to play if we make people come to listen to us. So it's at parties we throw or events that we sponsor. So it's really good that way. It's a jazz band, but only with a small J and maybe one Z. So it's Jaws maybe, I don't know. I don't think you'll be hearing from us, but it's interesting that way. So I've got a new guitar, the thing over my shoulder there, which I just got yesterday. It's very nice. So I'm spending all my retirement money frivolously right now, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Retirement money?
Yeah, well, I know. Well, I have a pension. Believe it or not, I'm a pensioner, so I have a thing coming up. So we'll see. All right, well, that's what we've all been doing, and that's covered a lot of time. So I think we've kind of gotten a bit dark, but I don't think we have to go too much darker. Well, let's do this, and I think I'll just spin it a little bit. There is a group over here, one of those kind of quirky British bands that I never quite got, but it's called Ian and the Blockheads, Ian Drury and the Blockheads. And he had a song which is kind of a talky song called Reasons to Be Cheerful. And it's one of these kind of almost raps, but it's way before that. And it's kind of white guy rap kind of thing that just rhymes. But anyway, reasons to be cheerful. So let's just figure out, what are our reasons to be cheerful? We must have one. Rebecca, tell us a reason to be cheerful.
Oh, gosh, here's where you practice your elevator speech and when you're there in the bomb shelter. Okay. Number one, these are the 4 immeasurables, okay? I probably won't remember them all. Anyway, the first one is, you know what? We are all human beings, all 6 of us. And it might seem when you think about it that, oh gosh, we're everywhere. We're like ants all over the planet. There are too many of us. Oh my God, overpopulation, whatever. But actually, and we know that it's very, very difficult and complicated to turn out to be born as a human being. And set aside the idea that, oh, but my skin isn't quite right, or oh, my knee, oh, my hip, but this life is so tough. Whatever you think about your life, consider that but for a few tiny quirks and butterfly flappings, you might have been born a golden retriever, which wouldn't be a bad life, perhaps. But consider that you have these amazing senses, these 5, 6, many other senses we don't even know yet. And that is quite miraculous. And just to know that you have this organism, this incredible organism, and even though you might feel like you've been beaten helplessly by karma and neurotic thought, like the relentless fury of the pounding waves in the infinite ocean of samsara, which just means some sorrow, which is life is suffering or dukkha. Just to say that having this incredible brain, but we can't forget that we also have these human bodies too. And we sit there with our giant brains like a huge cabbage on a little skinny pencil containing legions. We can cast our mind this way or that way. We can imagine anything. We can flicker and get triggered on old PTSD memories and so on. But I think that being a human being, it's not too late. And it's pretty wonderful. And I think that's enough. I think just you have this amazing human body. And whenever you encounter someone who is suffering and hurting, you have the capacity and the ability to show love from your heart chakra and to uplift other beings in your midst, whatever they are. Maybe it's a stink bug and you're going to put it outside gently. Or maybe it's a poor immigrant brown-skinned person that you need to make a place for in the back of that walk-in closet somehow. It could be anything. For me, it's my clients. These women come here doing 1,000 things, getting all revved up at the holidays, trying to be the Christmas elf for ever so many people. And what gives me the greatest joy is if I can make that person feel a little bit better. So I think learning, giving, and less taking. And I've gone on way too long, but thanks for listening to me.
Very good. I'll mix it about. Dave, what do you got to be cheerful for?
Well, I'll kind of echo what Rebecca says. I mean, we've got bodies, and basically, despite health concerns, we're in good shape. But beyond just the body, I mean, we've all got warm places to sleep in cold weather. We've got nice electricity, and despite, we mentioned earlier about social media, but you take that and you say that's a blessing and a curse, but we've all got things like that we can be thankful for and be happy for. Things that just really give us pleasure. I mean, the people around us, I think, give us pleasure. The things that are outside of us give us pleasure. The first thought that came to mind was Halloween. My 2 grandsons, if you can remember the opening sequence of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the 10-year-old was King Arthur and the 8-year-old had a backpack and got 2 halves of coconuts and followed him up the street as Patsy, and they were dressed as knights. And I thought, who on earth would have thought about this? But when they went trick-or-treating, I mean, people would stop and say, wait a minute, you deserve big candy bars and not the little ones we're handing out. Who would have thought of this? And people were screaming lines of Monty Python and the Holy Grail at them. Watch out for the rabbits, or, other things, as these guys were going up the street trick-or-treating and Jude's just banging those coconuts. And just little things like that give me great pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Kathy?
David, that reminded me of an experience I had. God, I guess it's 38 years ago. We had gone out to eat with another couple, and I was very pregnant with my first daughter. And we watched Monty Python, and I don't remember the name of this one, where the woman is standing at the sink and babies are just dropping out of her, and every sperm is sacred or something like that. And I went into labor that night and had my baby. And so it was kismet, I guess, but it's kind of a funny memory. So what makes me cheerful? I think every year as I get older, I appreciate more that I'm just having a human experience, like Rebecca was saying, and it's not always happy and cheerful, but it's a human experience and I'm here for it. um, I find great joy in my grandchildren and other relationships that I have. I've got a wonderful group of friends and we get together frequently and we have each other's backs, and there's something to be said for that at this age to still have a circle of girlfriends who are like sisters. Anyway, yeah, I think having great relationships and, as I said before, not getting bogged down into things you can't control, and realizing that makes me a little bit more cheerful. Things that make me feel hopeful are science and people who work hard to make our world better. I know they're out there. I know that there's a lot of them, and that makes me feel gratified. So I am grateful for many things. I'm grateful for my health and um, the ability to have a voice and not be so afraid to use it. Amen.
Bill.
Um, Trying to think about just different people that still reach out to me. Thankful for that and being able to, watch you all. And even though we haven't talked too much individually, but just even, um, like I have a room here in Mary Ruth's house is where, I was down in Austin for almost 40 years and, things were sort of a mess, and Philip and Mary Ruth reached out to me, and I ended up here in Fayetteville. So, it's colder than I'd like. I like the temperature more. I like lows in the 70s. So, but yeah, that makes me feel good. Just the stuff that you all do, and some other people that I get to still keep in contact with.
Sorry, my mailbox is open and that makes that noise.
All right. All right. Roy, reasons to be cheerful.
Well, I think having good friends all over the place, which is nice. I wish they were all closer. Dave and I talk about that a lot. That it'd be nice if we lived a lot closer. We could just go down the street and talk. But it's nice to have people that are like you folks and others that are around, and the ones that are here as well. Things that make me cheerful are, hanging out with my daughter and her friends. Keeps me feeling a little bit young, anyways. Although they do know quite often that I'm old, but that's a different thing. And just having some place that's really nice to live, in the sense of not only physically nice, because it's nice to go outside sometime and look around and think, well, there's no matter what is happening in the big wide world, it would take an awful lot to screw this up. I'm not saying they couldn't do it, but it would take an awful lot to screw this up. And you can forget about being immersed in the world that seems headed to hell in a handbasket for long periods of time by just being outside. And the people up here are nice, mostly sane, pretty frank in their discussion, in their opinions, and that's kind of nice too. And I enjoy being, around in a state that's semi-sane. Maine's far enough away from everything that you can feel like you're not part of everything if you want, and that in these times is a blessing, I think. So, and my dog. Okay.
Well, I second, third, fourth, fifth, all about this contact because, as my wife will frequently say, I am absolutely awful about keeping in touch with anybody who's slightly out of phone range or even that. And yet, the good and the bad, the yin and the yang of the technology is this has been allowed to happen. And so over the last several years, we've all gotten to talk to each other when we hadn't, except in emails for 45 years. I don't know however long it's been a long time. So that really is something, doing these kinds of things. And the other thing, just to go slightly out on a limb, is I really get cheerful about food. And now that seems like a strange thing to say, but since coming over here, I had no food culture in America, except it came out of a packet or it went into the microwave, or, you know, you did a bit of, you barbecued it, you burned it or something like that. My wife's family are, they hate the term, but for lack of a better one, they're foodies, but what they really are real believers in the virtues and the power of food to communicate and to connect and to make people better from a health point of view or everything else. And so my wife's involved with a bunch of people and they cook. And I can't even explain what they do because it's sort of teaching, but they don't teach. And it's sort of feeding people as a cafe, but it's not a cafe. But in the end, people are fed and people learn. And so it's one of those kind of symbiotic things. And I'm sort of peripherally involved with very interesting, very young people who started this thing and who brought Liz in, and she's brought all her experience of that. So food has suddenly become, and this weekend or for the last 2 weeks, my stepson's been down and he's about eating us out of house and home. But on the other hand, he's an incredibly good cook. So every night we eat. So food has become a thing, and it almost is one of those, oh God, not another really good meal. But at the same time, I think that's important. So at this time of year in which we're about to go into the excesses of eating, there is something beyond just our own food, that food is important about it. So I think that makes me cheerful. There's possibilities about it. It is sad at the number of people who don't benefit from that because they either don't understand or they can't afford, more to the point. So if we can do anything along that way, that'll go a long way to helping everything else.
I might add that if any of you have an opportunity to have a meal that Liz has cooked, even if it's something that she's just thrown together from things in the cupboard, you're in for a real treat. She is a great cook.
Well, I'm very, very fortunate.
I don't know Liz, but she and I are Facebook friends.
There you are.
And I love her posts. And I always look with delight. Here's the stand at the farmer's market, and we'll show them as luscious, delicious looking things. I wish I could reach out and eat them. Recently subscribed to Brot Box bread from Germany.
All right.
Our bread in America. God knows what the hell they're putting in our bread. Unless you make your own bread, I tell you, this Brot Box, oh my God, Brotchen, real rye bread. Oh, God, I just want to have that with butter and maybe some cheese and a couple apples. And the simplicity of the goodness is anyway, who needs 25 ingredients? I can't do that anymore, Martha Stewart, thank you. But good bread and cheese, so lovely.
I heard something once that said French cooking takes a lot of garbage and turns something exquisite. And that's, French cooking is to the glory of the chef. And Italian cooking takes amazing products and just does something simple with it, because Italian cooking is to the glory of God. So, I think those are sometimes the two differences. And both are glorious things, but I think I really like something fresh that's just been kind of thrown together in an interesting combination to make it tasty, which unfortunately at Christmas time, nothing is that simple. But we'll see what happens, and maybe we'll talk about it in the new year. Well, we're running on here, so I think maybe we'll run one more question around, and why don't we just put our prognostication hats on? And it doesn't have to be, we get away from the dark side, and we don't have to go there at all. But if anybody wants to think about what they think the next year is going to be, either in their lives or in the world's life or in America's life or in your state's life or your child's life, anything like that, let's just see what we think of is coming up next. Let's see. I'll just throw it out. Roy, you go first. You can predict.
I am hopeful, and I wouldn't say I'm going to count on it, but I'm hopeful that enough people are getting completely pissed off in this country that the midterms are going to change a few things, at least to start putting some brakes on some of the darker things that are going on. I remain slightly hopeful for the survival of American democracy in the next few years. We'll see how that goes. Otherwise, I don't have many prognostications. Even though I was an AI professor for 30, 40 years, I'm not subscribed quite to the AI is going to kill us all, because it's so dirt stupid. But that's so I'll stay away from those prognostications. I think it's going to make people stupider, if that's possible. But I think the next year or so will be an improvement in many ways. And I am extremely grateful that somebody that I intensely dislike is 79 years old.
Yes. Well, let's see what happens there. Bill, have you got any? What do you foresee in the next year? If we're here next year, what are you going to tell us about what happened?
Yeah, I don't really. What's the word for it? I don't know that the people and the politicians and such we get elected, if they're not just sort of I don't know, looking for changes there. I think we need changes in the people themselves who are doing the electing, and whoever's involved in it. It's sort of like there are some good people out there, but how come they're not one of our choices to elect to try and lead things? Or what? I don't know what's going on with that, as to why we don't have any good choices. Why they come up with who we do have to select from. Anyway, I don't know. For most of us, we're going to have our 50-year reunion coming up. I guess, I don't know. That's what Mary Ruth mentioned on June 6th. That's
Mary Ruth.
Yes.
That makes me remember the Clark brothers.
All three of them. Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So golly, 50 years. I don't know. Does it say something that it's on the anniversary of D-Day, though? I don't know.
Only to those who even remember what day it is. What day is it? The computer would have you believe that every day. Oh, it's National Croissant Day, or yeah, you can say anything is how it seems. And then other days that get just deleted, like Martin Luther King Day and so forth.
Yeah.
Does Simpsons Lake have a beach? Because we need to storm a beach on that day, don't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It has to have 5 beaches, actually. So
very small, very small, dirty beach.
I think Simpsons Lake was always lucky to have a boat ramp.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. David, what do you predict?
I'm going to be in a patio home in 2026 and downsizing. So, it's going to be interesting because we're moving from a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath house to a 2-bath, 3-bedroom home. So it'll be interesting for us. It's quite a process. So, I'm looking forward to that. We're going to do some more traveling until 2026, but like Roy, I'm also hopeful about some things that are happening. And, those of you who don't know, our Republican senators in Indiana denied Trump his wish for gerrymandering the state so that they would have 7 Republican seats instead of 5. So it seems like a small victory, but at least there are some Republicans that think differently, and I'm happy for that. I hope more of them find the voice to do what I feel is right instead of wrong. So,
let's see.
Container gardening, David.
You have a
It's a lot easier.
No, the squirrels eat it.
Well, that's just an extra meat source, David.
Oh, I looked at it that way.
Appalachian cuisine.
All right, Rebecca, get your tarot cards out and predict the future. What's going to happen next year?
Those are in the North 40. I don't think I can even get there. Let's see. Everything that exists arises, and I mean everything. Civilizations, empires. Remember the British Empire? Remember the Mughal Empire? So many things. Anything arises, displays for a while, and then disappears. Our lives, those of everyone else that's ever existed. This great country, the greatest country on earth, hadn't been around that long. There's no reason why it should continue. Wars continue. Whatever we do, there's always a war. It's like they're doing too much to make more wars as a big distraction, and it pisses me off. I do think that we're on a circle game, like Joni Mitchell says, round and round and round in a circle game. Today, it's getting dark too quickly. the week, the year. You talk about a postmortem for this year, this little block of time, every thought in your head, every relationship, everything arises, displays for a while, and then passes away. And I think the most important thing is to maintain your presence. And this is the most valuable thing you have with your amazing human organism, is your ability to you contain legions and abilities beyond our imagination to even come up with. And to just be present by the stream or in your house or wherever you are, to just really be there. So be here now is what I intend to do. And be less, off in the Amazon shopping aisles looking for, I give these away to my clients. I'm a massage therapist, Bill. So my clients, they're all women. They come to my house. This is the greatest job I ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Total control. No colleagues. They come. They're taking care of their dying father and their husband who lost his job. And they've got so many things. And the end of the massage, it's, would you like a tiara? They're like, what? What's that? Anyhow, take this. And we picked one from my drawer of tiaras with my little, this gives me great joy. And so I shouldn't spend 4 hours buying them on Amazon, though. Anything, don't get obsessed. Don't overthink it. And try to be here now. And I should maybe talk less and listen more. Yeah. And whatever happens, one last thing. When you're thinking about something, is this my business? What gets elected, what happens in the future, whether that person gets an abortion or not. Is that my business? To the extent that I need to vote, that's my responsibility. And speak up for the unfortunate. Is it somebody else's business? A thing like, well, you just wouldn't believe what these people over the street have constructed in the back of their yard. Is that my business really? Only if it means they're harming me in some way, whatever. But, I can't be, look at this, look at that. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Not my business. Is it God's business? Whatever God, or God backwards is dog, or whatever you think of God is, an incredible human energy field. Is that God's business? I think, yeah. So what happens in the next year in my life is mostly God's business. And my business is to always be kind, even if I want to pull out my gun and kill someone because of something they said. And there's that kind of crazy everywhere. So be kind, even when that person calls you a girl and says, why don't you smile, honey? Things aren't that bad. He says, not having a clue. Here's what you say. You say, you might be right. And then you go about your business. Anyhow, enough for me. I want to hear what you have to say. Kathy.
Thanks. I agree with a lot of what Rebecca said, to be here now and don't project into the future too much because you drive yourself crazy, and don't spend a lot of time dwelling on the past because it's done. I have one of my tattoos on my wrist says inhale, exhale. And got that at a time when I needed to do that.
She's hung again.
The most painful place to get a tattoo. One of the most.
Oh, you froze for a bit.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
After the tattoo.
The lotus grows out of the mud, which makes me have hope. That I feel sometimes that we are in the trenches and we're in the mud, but something good will grow, and something good will always come out of it. And perspective is everything, but yes, something good will come. I have great hopes for the midterms. I'm hoping that we can dig ourselves out a little bit at least and make a difference, and at least take the House or the Senate, please. At least take the House or the Senate, and maybe good change will come from that. And in the meantime, I will continue.
Frozen again.
Well, no mud, no lotus. That's a good one.
Hello.
You're frozen, Kathy.
Oh, you froze
We
again.
didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
I don't know at what point I froze, but I was just saying that I have great hope for the midterms and that I will continue to cause good trouble. That's it.
Excellent.
Very good. Well, I predict that sometime around this time next year, we'll do this again, or maybe even earlier, and probably earlier, maybe in the newish part of the new year, because it always is great fun talking. Next time, maybe we'll reminisce past rather than stay in the future, but in the present, in the future. But I think it was good to get that bit out as well. As always, I'll get this out as soon as I can. Everybody will have access to it, and we'll all listen to it. So of course it'll have many viewers.
Six of us.
Yeah.
This could be the entire audience right here, plus Bo.
It's fun. It's better than watching one murder mystery after the other.
Exactly.
You know, I am constantly surprised. I don't think anybody ever watches it, but I am constantly surprised when I go to parties with really good friends who walk up to me and says, "David, I didn't know you did a podcast." And I'm like,
Seriously?
"Oh, yes, I do a podcast."
Is that what this is?
Right
And
there.
I don't think anybody listens, but
Yeah.
you know, when they come across my Facebook feed, they go, "Oh, David's doing a podcast," and so they really ask about our technical team and
The researchers,
the research and the
The editors.
scripts. Yeah.
And monetizing. Let's not forget that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did these
And the
things, and I thought, life's too short. But you'd be amazed at how long it looks like when you really, the waveform down, and you can cut that baby out. And that's very satisfying. But then you also get the next bit, and then you're just out all over the place. So I thought, nah, life's too short. So we're there, us and all, but that's okay because it's the real thing. Well, anyway, I think we're going to sign off now, but it was great seeing you, Rebecca, Kathy, Bill, and boys, as always. See, so I'll call them boys, mine, because they're old and bald like me. So, we got that.
Don't doesn't your head get cold?
Yeah.
Well, I wear a hat all the time.
That's what you
You
get.
know, you could wear so many great hats, like Christmas trees, like everything, something, just
Yeah.
not a ball cap,
I
please.
wear a lot of hats, but we need the lighting, for the show. Anyway,
Well, then you can't.
Kathy was going to say something and she froze. I'm sorry. If you're out there,
Yep.
Kathy, did you say something?
again, but-
I said your tree is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
yes,
It's
Indeed.
completely fake, like any hair that I'd put on my head.
it's a flocking tree.
It's a
It
flock.
lasts longer.
Anyway, I'm going to sign us out here. So everybody wave goodbye because it's going to go off and the funny woman's going to say we're stopping. So anyway, bye everybody. We will see you the next time.
Gotta